This episode of Going In Raw is brought to you by NordVPN. Sure, the internet can be good, but can also be a scary place full of hackers trying to shoot on your security and pry into your personal data.
But you can protect yourself with NordVPN. NordVPN offers double data encryption and has a strict no logs policy. That means they never track, collect, or share your data.
And right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 68% off NordVPN. Only $3.71 per month, plus you get an additional month free at nordvpn.com/raw or use coupon code RAW.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. And that is, of course, where we're going to be holding our 24-hour live stream, Friendo Fest 24. We've got Rocket League gameplay, Fall Guys gameplay, hopefully WWE Battlegrounds gameplay, all with friendos. We're going to be doing a live watch along of both Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan and Money in the Bank 2011, and much, much more. We're going to have a giant two-sweet fest with Larson. He'll be digitally two-sweeting all the friendos, and we'll have a couple of special guests. This should be a lot of fun. Join us this Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and going through all the way to the next day at 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern.
It's 8:30 right now, and I'm ready for bed here on Monday.
I've been staying up really late lately, not just for no reason in particular, just because I think I have the luxury of doing that because I've been sleeping until like 9.
I don't have that luxury.
I'm kind of ready for this, I think, but we'll find out come this Saturday.
There you go.
So it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's happening. And tomorrow, by the way, for YouTube channel members, for patrons, and for Twitch subs at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, keep an eye out for your notifications on either Patreon, Twitch, or YouTube, because we're going to be doing, specifically for those Friendo Club TV members, we're going to be scheduling everything, putting it all in place, taking additional ideas for anybody else who wants to chime in and say, hey, maybe you could do this. If it's cool, it's fun, hey, we might do it. Yeah. We got a bunch of mail also to open up during the stream, including Dirty Rich sent us. He's very excited about a couple of packages he sent us.
Care package, yeah.
Care package from Dirty Rich.
Fairly often, so.
Yeah. What's going on? It's like my wife is playing baseball out in the sunroom. Anyways. Raw tonight. Man, I can't get over that finish. That finish was terrific, dude.
It was cool.
I thought, okay, Retribution's here. Boo, poo on them. But then, man.
And then face turned by Hurt Business.
I really wish the crowd, this could have been in front of a live crowd. This is one of those finishes that was really fun. The crowd would have been into it. Hurt Business came down, was taking on all of Retribution, who now
24 members of Retribution, apparently.
It's back up to 24. It was down to 5 at one point. Now back up to 24.
During the promo, it was there was at least 6 members in that promo.
Tonight?
I thought so, because
there were 6 to start, and then a bunch of people popped in late.
Yeah.
And so it was like, hey, this is us, but then we are Legion. And then, it was all topped off with Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre launching themselves out of the ring onto everybody. I thought it was a lot of fun. And it sets up, obviously, Clash of Champions. We can speculate now, I guess, on what's going to happen with that, because they had said
everybody versus Retribution.
There you go. That'd be good. Clash of Retribution. If Randy Orton can't make it, if Keith Lee had won tonight, he would go on to Clash of Champions. Do you think, is that just thrown out the window, or is there going to be an additional wrinkle next Monday?
A winner of the match tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if they make this ambulance match a 3-way dance. It would make all the sense.
Okay, but here's the thing. How would one... So they would have to get 2 people in the ambulance?
Oh, I guess so, yeah. I thought about the logistics of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Randy Orton hasn't accepted the ambulance match challenge. It was issued by Drew tonight. far as I know, there's been no acceptance of that challenge.
Yeah.
So Randy would just say, no, I prefer not to.
I'd prefer not to do that.
And then you can just have a triple threat match then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the idea is for this feud to continue to Hell in a Cell, yeah, I don't know.
Raw was, I'll be honest with you, a lot going on Raw tonight. It was a pretty packed episode.
There was a lot going on.
Again, when you have 3 hours to fill, they really endeavor to fill those 3 hours these days. I mean, you got to think we had that main event, but then we also had what felt like probably should have been the main event on any other show.
Was great.
The cage match, which was fantastic. Every time I think, man, I'm really over these interviews with Dom. He just talks and he says family and Seth and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm kind of over this. And then that kid goes in and puts in a 4-star match. What the hell?
It was a fun match. It was a fun match.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty great. Anyways, we'll just dive into it, I guess, because it wasn't like, I mean, probably the biggest news from tonight, and it's not even happening on Raw, is, we can talk about that, actually. Sasha Banks is going to be on Smackdown this Friday. Yeah,
no, we talked about that briefly on News Brief, because that was kind of, that was the rumbling, is that Sasha's going to be on Smackdown this Friday.
Yeah, but it's been confirmed now.
Yeah, no, that's
like a real thing.
Too soon. Mm-hmm. That's too soon.
All right, let's talk about this.
I know she's a ratings draw, and she's great, but to really sell that vicious attack from Bayley, keep her off 3 weeks minimum.
All right, let's talk about this. I was thinking about this for the thumbnail. I think it might be this: SmackDown star falls from Universal title scene to Raw Underground and fights Dabba-Kato. Braun Strowman shows up Raw Underground. I kind of liked it, but it's kind of wonky because he never even asked for a rematch for the Universal title. He doesn't really care. What are your thoughts on that, dude?
I mean, from the perspective of him being unhinged monster now, and he, after that loss, he needs to go blow off some steam, collect himself maybe, before he issues a formal challenge to new champion Roman Reigns. What better way to do that in Raw Underground? Now he's going to go on a bit of a detour because Dabba-Kato stepped up to him. That's going to happen next week. So it takes him out of the title picture so Roman could have his match against Jey Uso at Clash of Champions. Maybe following Clash, Braun will come back around and say, yeah. Actually, he did get his rematch. He wasn't champion walking into the match at a Payback. Bray was. That was his rematch. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes some of these people, they try to get some wiggle room. Well, it was a triple threat. I mean, he's the one that got pinned.
Yeah, no. So really, he really has no case for a rematch. So to Raw Underground he goes to kind of to salvage what's left of his career.
I guess so. Anyways, let's hop into this. The Steve notes are out and about in the world. So if you're a patron, YouTube channel member, or a Twitch sub, you can get access to those right now. Opened up. We got I'm here to show the world. This was my favorite.
I want to ask you something because I haven't noticed this. Because usually I start the show late. I don't ever start the show on time, so I'll start late and catch up.
Okay.
Have they always had that bit of thunder and lightning on the LEDs on all the Trons before the show? Because it made me think the Undertaker was showing up.
So I noticed it on SmackDown last Friday, and I think when I noticed it then, I had realized that they've been doing that. So it's to signal that hey, we're here in
Thunderdome now. Yeah, I put it together, but at first I was like, wait.
Anthony F says Anthony F said they've started it. They have since it started. So
all right,
it is one of those things that kind of low key because it just starts out you're in with SmackDown it's like nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a storm coming, and then they kick in the AC/DC music.
Yeah. Well, then and tonight on Raw they had the Raw graphics up. And then I think once Michael Cole mentioned Thunderdome, lightning, thunder, and then back to it. I mean, usually, like I said, when I'm watching it and I'm catching up, I just fast forward until something's happening.
Smart move on your part. We got Dolph Ziggler for the first part of this on commentary. He wasn't bad, but thankfully MVP came in a little bit later on in the show to show us how real commentary is.
Oh, he was great.
He's great, man. It might be a difficult decision for me if Vince came to me and said, "Would you rather have Samoa Joe or MVP?"
Why choose? maybe have both.
Yeah, I could say that to Vince.
Imagine them playing off each other. I think that'd be pretty fantastic.
That'd be pretty great. That'd be awesome. Probably not going to happen. Drew comes out, challenges Randy to an ambulance match. I could really talk about him. Everybody kind of talked too much tonight. There was a lot of jibber jabber tonight, dude.
There was a lot of talking. Yeah, there was a lot of talking. Yeah. Drew retold the origins of the Claymore, which we had heard before.
So after he had already talked a lot, he talks about how he accidentally created the Claymore because he didn't want his dick and balls to fall out of his leather pants when he was in three-man band. He does his own silly Photoshop thing of everybody who's been felled by Claymore. And then Scrap Iron comes out, Adam Pearce. And he said, man, he was in full force tonight. He was screaming and yelling and everything. He says, hey, we don't know what's going to happen with Randy. He's not here tonight. He may not be there at Clash. If Keith Lee wins tonight, he'll get a shot at Clash of Champions.
Yes, this, of course, brings out Limitless Keith Lee. He hits the ring. He circles Drew, looks at the title. Drew extends his hand. Keith shakes it. Drew turns to leave. Keith doesn't let go of the grip. And then Drew turns back around. And then it just cut awkwardly to commercial. There were several kind of awkward cuts to commercial I noticed tonight. Like during the cage match, it's like Michael Cole is in the middle of a call, fade out to commercial.
Wendy's has a new pretzel bun pub burger.
Oh, really?
I wonder if it doesn't taste like salt. Most of their stuff just tastes like salt to me. Mm-hmm. Very salty. But this looks pretty good. I might try it.
Did you get an advertisement somewhere for it or what?
It was an ad. It was an ad during commercial break here.
Oh, you made a note of it?
Yeah, I made a note of it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know why this popped in your head right now, but that
I might want to do a food vlog of it. After that,
you can do the green bun burger again.
Oh yeah. Wait, no, it's not the green bun. It's the black bun. Oh. But the poop ends up green.
Green, yes. Okay. I knew green was involved somewhere.
Oh yeah, top of the priority list. There's Street Profits versus Cesaro and Nakamura. This is a fun match.
It was a fun match. Before the match began, Cesaro and Nakamura had a picture-in-picture interview. They just pretty much said Profits ruined Champs Lounge, so today we're going to ruin the perception that they're best tag team. And this was a fun match. It was great. We got to see Dawkins do a frog splash. That was awesome. I maybe saw the most incredible pop-up European uppercut of my life.
Oh, man.
Montez was good 8 feet in the air, or so it seemed, when Cesaro decked him with that pop-up European uppercut. His head snapped back. That was something else.
That was pretty great. That frog splash with the knees. Yeah, you got that. And then, clean win for Street Profits. So Cesaro gets like a superplex kind of from the second rope. Dawkins, before Cesaro hits that on Ford, Dawkins tags Ford to get in. And then as soon as Cesaro hits down with the suplex, Dawkins gets the splash for 3.
Yeah,
they get the win. I wonder if there's going to be some reciprocation here. I mean, they're up. I mean, maybe this is going to be the only one. Be kind of cool if
maybe this will lead to title unification match at the Clash of Champions.
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, maybe I don't know what reason Street Profits would for them to go to SmackDown and be like, "Hey, we beat you once. Do you want another?"
We want to go on your turf and show that we can do it again.
Maybe, just maybe, they were so enamored by the Champions Lounge that they're like, hey, we beat the champions, so this is the Champions Lounge.
There you go, the Champions Lounge. Yes.
Cesaro and Nakamura will get the win on SmackDown, and then they'll take it to Clash.
Yeah, there you go. After that, we had Angel Garza talking to Lana backstage. She's complaining about Mickie James getting a title shot when Natalya should have gotten it. She puts over Natalya and her bona fides. Garza says, oh, yeah, that is really unfair, but your passion for justice is intoxicating.
Yeah.
Then Zelina and Andrade step in. She gives him the business for flirting with Lana. He says, enough. I'm tired of being blamed for every setback because Andrade got beat. Tells Zelina to chill out. Andrade steps up to him. They start arguing. Zelina says, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. She walks off. Garza and Andrade, they throw down.
Yeah. So let's see here. They went back to, I swear I saw this on the .com. They were using the angry Dom, or at least the serious Dom Photoshop for the steel cage promo. Here they were going back to smiling Dom.
Well, what's on WWE.com on the superstar profile?
That's a good question.
I assume that's the default, although sometimes the ones they use on TV are not those. Next, we had Cedric Alexander versus Ricochet. Before that, though, Hurt Business comes out. MVP has a promo. He says, I got an official announcement. Business is booming. Lashley, U.S. champ. Shelton, upgraded from gold standard to platinum status. Cedric, official member of Hurt Business. W9 has been signed. Life is good. Cedric grabs the mic, says his social media was blowing up last week. Everybody throwing shade at him. He says, here's one thing you don't understand. This is my job. No one knows what it's like to be him, be beaten down by Hurt Business week after week, and then going home and not be able to play with his kids the next day. He said being with Ricochet and Cruz left him empty and broken. But now that he's in Hurt Business, he's interrupted by Cruz and Ricochet. And then Cruz says they treated him like a brother, and he turned his back on them and sold them out. He's too weak-minded and allowed himself to be manipulated by MVP. They always had his back, and then Cedric goes, wrong. How many times did he have to catch a beating when Cruz was U.S. champ? And then Shelton takes the mic, says, Cedric, you don't owe them any explanation. Ricochet interrupts. This is the best mic work Ricochet's done on the main roster. I thought he was great.
I agree. I think this is the best work that Cedric's done. Dude, here's the thing. You can tell Apollo Crews, he is literally doing everything possible to stand out. And it's one of two things. Either that's rubbing off on everybody else, or what I think it probably is MVP. MVP clearly is heavily involved with all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to believe that this guy's back there saying, hey, we need some fire from you guys.
Yeah,
you can't come out here and just smile and be a little on the snarky side. Everything Apollo says has some, oomph to it.
Well, here's like Ricochet, when he's reading dialogue or reciting dialogue, it sounds like he's trying to remember his lines.
Yeah.
This just felt natural.
It did.
And he felt really at ease with every single word he was saying, and it came off so believable.
When Cedric cut him off and said, no. How many beatings did I take for you while you were U.S. champion? There was so much fire in his voice.
Yeah. And he leaned into it, too.
Yes. It felt genuine. Whatever they're doing, whoever's doing whatever, it's working.
Yeah, it is working. So the Ricochet interrupts Shelton and tells him to mind his own business. They didn't come out here for an explanation. He joined Hurt Business for money. And then Ricochet says, that hurts me personally more than any beatdown. Said, but hey, we didn't come out here to get you back or ask why. They came out here to tell them that we're coming for you. And then the match begins between Ricochet and Cedric. Cedric picked up the win here following a lumbar check. Really fun match. Didn't give it a ton of time.
Did you totally notice, though? And I'm so glad that Dolph pointed this out as well. But Cedric's in-ring was way more aggressive. And he was doing some stuff that he hadn't done before. And that signifies like the change in character. And it's so good because he was so aggressive in the ring. Even the smallest little things, again, he just had more anger to it. It was really, really good stuff.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So after the match, lights come down. Retribution shows up in the Tron. It was really wordy. Although this one particular line stood out to me. I think it was Dijak that said, they once believed that their time at the Performance Center would lead to success.
Yeah.
But now we refuse to suck up. Way to intimidate people by saying we didn't catch a break at the Performance Center.
So that was interesting. I liked it because at least we're getting some sense of who the hell these people are supposed to be.
Yeah, we've had 2 weeks of them explaining kind of what their mission is and why. I get that. But then, I don't know, it took me out a little bit when they're doing this really highly verbose stuff, because it is very verbose. And then they just say, oh, because we didn't get a shot at the Performance Center, we're essentially going to make you all pay for it.
There was less cloth on Dijak's mask, so you saw even more of Dijak's face, which was hilarious. And I love that they totally modulated his voice a little bit.
They did, yeah. This time I noticed that.
And it was hilarious because it's still just him. He is the most obvious person. Larson, this guy doesn't have anything to complain about. Like within the world of WWE doesn't. I mean, you might say, as a shoot.
Well, no, we talked about this a week or two ago.
Sure.
He can make the case that, he had this series of matches with Keith Lee that launched Keith Lee to the top. What did Dijak get out of it?
Losses, but he lost.
He beat Keith Lee once, didn't he? Early on.
Early on, but eventually when Keith Lee finally found his way, Dijak had multiple opportunities. And what was the last time we saw him was Purple Face in the Killian Cross thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just think that he could say that. He could totally say that. But it's like, bro, you lost a bunch. Mia Yim, she had a pretty decent run in NXT. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting. Like when they unmask, whenever that's going to be, it'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah, they made some reference to showing who they were or something like that in this promo.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Raycon. Larson.
Yeah.
I know that you love to keep up with music. You're always listening to the freshest jams.
Yeah, that's right, man. Whether I'm working out or just relaxing at home, I'm usually listening to music, and I've found the best way to listen is with a pair of premium earbuds, especially if I can get them for half the price of the other options, and that is why I choose Raycon.
Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet. With 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact, comfortable design that gives you a great noise-isolating fit.
So whether I'm listening to music or recording a podcast like I am right now, my Raycons have become my go-to wireless earbuds. They're comfortable, sound fantastic, and unlike some of the other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are stylish and discreet. That means no distractions from stems or dangling wires while I'm trying to be productive. You've probably seen celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Brandy, and Mike Tyson all obsessed with their products. Raycon also has a 45-day free return policy, so you can make sure they're the right pair of wireless earbuds for you.
That's right. And for a limited time now, get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/raw. That's buyraycon. That's B-U-Y, like, hey, I'm buying this. Raycon, RAYCON.com/raw for a special 15% discount on Raycon wireless earbuds. Make sure to check it out now while the deal's running. Buyraycon.com/raw.
After that, we had a Mickie James interview. She's asked what emotion fuels you. Apparently is love, because she said she loves this business. She's given everything to it. She loves it for the high-stakes competition that it brings out of her. She says right now, they say that with experience comes wisdom, and with wisdom comes clarity, and it's clear that she's always had what it takes to be champ, but tonight might be her last chance to actually be champion.
Mm-hmm. After that, I believe was the Hurt Business scrap iron bit. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Hurt Business approaches scrap iron, and they're like, dude, your security guards suck. You need to upgrade from boys to men. Giving him all sorts of crap. And he's like, help us keep your job, because your job is on the line here. You keep on messing up with security. And Scrap Iron said, okay, well, thank you for volunteering. At which point they all pointed and laughed at him and said, we'll send you the bill in the mail. We're not doing this for free.
That was great.
That was really great. Yeah.
After that, we had Mickie James versus Asuka. And it was a really good match.
This was shaping up to be, look, this was a really great match, and I'm pretty sure what we saw was like 10 seconds truncated, because it seemed like she was going to be tapping out on the Asuka lock.
She did tap, if you watch the replay.
No, she didn't. She just put her hand down for leverage.
You could say that's a tap.
I watched it twice back. This was a messed up ending because I think she was concussed.
Maybe. She rolls over. And you can see, she's facing the ref, and maybe she's facing Asuka. She's talking. You can see her talking.
So what happens is she rolls over, and I think it was supposed to be, you're better at the moves than I am, when you do like a straight rollover and you try to get the pin on that. That's not the jackknife. The jackknife is
No, jackknife is what Drew does after Spinebuster.
Okay. So she tried to do that, but she just sort of rolled over instead. And I think at that point the ref realized, okay, something's wrong here. And you see her go like this and try to get her bearings. And then that's when the ref just calls it, and she looks at the ref and she didn't even complain. She was just like, yeah, that was something was messed up.
Yeah,
there.
something was weird. And then they, after the match, she rolled out of the ring and they were tending to her.
Mm-hmm.
But after watching that promo, I mean, I hope this it's I know Anthony says the ref's face said something was up, and I hope that's not the case. I hope everybody's just a really good actor. That promo she did where she thinks essentially maybe there's like a storyline thing where she says, I have what it takes to still be champion. She gets in there with Asuka, finds that she doesn't have what it takes or something. I don't know.
Well, Jorge
that's
here says,
optimistic view of it.
According to Lance Storm's Twitter, hope Mickie James is okay. I think the ref said her shoulder popped out. Yeah, that wasn't story, dude. That was...
All right.
They could turn... Look, I'd love to see a rematch because this match was great. This
really
was a
good.
really cool match. But yeah, obviously something happened here.
That was my
because
first inclination as well, because that was a weird finish.
She was nowhere to be found afterwards. Some people said that they saw the ref like tending to her after the match during.
Yeah.
So Zelina Vega comes right out and she says, I've had it. I'm tired of dealing with these people. She said, I'm tired of managing all these ingrates. I've spent years of my career dealing with them, just like Asuka. The best years of my career. She said, just like you're an ingrate. You were handed the title by the best in the business, and you've been reckless, defending against everybody and their mother. She said, you're too busy dealing with the Empress of Tomorrow is too busy dealing with everybody from yesterday and forgot about the best from today. And Zelina says, I'm not going to say that I'm ready for Asuka because I'm ready for that right there. And then Asuka starts mocking her, and Zelina Vega slaps this shit out of her.
Yeah. And then Asuka makes a move. Zelina leaves.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we got Keith Lee interview. He's excited for tonight. He wins. He gets an opportunity to face Drew for the WWE title. Says, hey, we've known each other for a long time. He doesn't appreciate Drew interfering in his matches. Being WWE champ, the dream for everyone. Drew will do everything to hold on to it. He says, I'll do what I must to get it. Then he's asked about Drew's jaw. And then he more or less says, I don't really want to have to take advantage of it, but like I said, I'll do what I must.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like way too long, way too much talking.
After that, we had what's that?
I said it was, man. It was just forever.
After that, we had Bob Lashley versus Ray Rowe. MVP joins the commentary table. Match went about just as you would expect. Bob Lashley gets the win. It was pretty short.
Mm-hmm. After that, we had a Kevin Owens interview. He's asked about Aleister Black, and he basically says, he was like, I don't know why Aleister Black decided to make this so personal. Maybe it was something I said. Maybe Hot Topic wouldn't honor his coupon for that band that he likes to wear on his shirt that just says a bunch of nothing. He says maybe nobody picked a fight with him during that time he was in a room for a year and a half. He says, I don't know, and I don't care. I need to figure out how can I beat him up so bad that every day he wakes up and remembers what happens when you pick a fight with Kevin Owens. He walks off, and Aleister Black really awkwardly walks into frame. I think he was trying to figure out those leathery tights of his.
Yeah, he's trying to get used to walking in those pants again.
Mm-hmm.
Really good promo from Owens. Next, Shane, he walks up to Raw Underground. He's talking to the security guard there. Braun rolls up. He's mad. He says, I know there's someone on the other side of that door whose head I can cave in. Tells Shane to tell his best fighters that the monster is there.
I really just want security guard to then ultimately be like the longest reigning Raw Underground champion. Because every day Shane comes up to him, and I like their relationship because, Braun just yells at both of them and then goes inside, and Shane's like, oh, this is going to be the best Raw Underground ever.
Yeah, he's very
excited.
And
the other guy's geeked out too. But eventually I just want him to come in and just start murdering people.
Yeah, you really appreciate how tall that dude is when Braun rolls up, and it looks like he's a good 8 inches shorter.
Yeah, he looks so much shorter.
Pretty crazy.
So after that, I had to make note of this because I thought it was a funny line. And because Byron's like, what's going on here? Braun's a SmackDown superstar. Why is he here at Raw Underground? And MVP says, hey, Byron, why don't you tell Braun he's not allowed to be here? Well, that was funny. MVP cracks me
was
up,
good.
man.
MVP
He's
was
great.
good.
All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's episode, NordVPN. Sure, the internet can be good, but it can also be a scary place full of hackers trying to shoot on your security and pry into your personal data.
But you can protect yourself with NordVPN. NordVPN offers double data encryption and lets you browse the web in private because NordVPN prevents data logging. In fact, NordVPN has a strict no logs policy. That means they'll never track, collect, or share your data.
NordVPN is compatible with most operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, and Android, and offers 24/7 product support and a 30-day money-back guarantee to ensure your satisfaction.
NordVPN even has a user-friendly Chrome extension that provides unlimited bandwidth on super-fast servers with up to 6 simultaneous connections.
And right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 68% off NordVPN, only $3.71 per month. Plus, you get an additional month free at nordvpn.com/raw or use the coupon code RAW.
After that, we had a Seth and Dominik recap. Following that, Seth's in the locker room. He sees Buddy somewhere, waves him over. He's like, "Hey, where have you been?" And then Buddy's like explaining it to him what happened last week. And Seth's like, don't worry about it. Past is the past. We're here. We're looking towards the future. He gets to be locked to a steel cage with Dom. It's a perfect opportunity to teach him and the whole world a lesson. And so he looks to Buddy and says, I hope you're prepared for your role tonight. I got something really important, and I need you to be ready. And Buddy goes, yeah, I'm ready. And then Seth slaps the shit out of him, grabs him by the face, and tells him that his role is to stay backstage so you have to deal with his stupid mistakes again. And Buddy says, yeah, that's fine. And Seth slaps him again, grabs him again by the face, says, I want you to say yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Murphy, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
Because this is going to get deep here in a little bit, or he's going to be deep in something. R-Truth and Liv had a really weird Kit Kat commercial after that.
Mm-hmm. R-Truth was cutting a promo on a Kit Kat.
Even that had too much talking in it. It's a Kit Kat commercial, for God's sakes. After that, they sort of made the formal announcement on TV that Mandy Rose is coming to Raw.
Mandy Night Raw.
I mean, that's a terrible, bad pun.
Well, it's an obvious catchphrase.
Well, too obvious. Yeah. I mean, she's Monday Night Rose.
Rose?
Yeah, that's a bit better. Mandy Night Raw.
Anyways, next we had an awesome cage match between Seth and Dominik. We got a Mysterio family interview that preceded it. Dom talks about wanting to follow his dreams and you can't back down from challenges. Ray says he and Angie are more concerned about this than Dom apparently is. Ray's been in cage matches. He knows how hard they'll be. They'll be out there to support Dom, but once that cage door closes, Dom's on his own.
Mm-hmm.
So this was really fun.
Oh, man, this was great. And Buddy Murphy did not listen to Seth. He, in fact, did show up, but the first time he helped out Seth, he gave him a kendo stick. And as Dom tried to climb, Dom was really smart in this match. He was really trying to climb out of that cage. Like, that's what you really should be doing the entire time.
Climbing out? No, you should go through the door. That's quicker.
Yeah, well.
Climbing out of the cage is like the slowest way to get out.
Well, if Seth is down and, but the thing with the door is, like, it takes time to open the door. You don't want the guy to run to you. If you can get up, then I think that's ideal.
I don't know. I feel like if you've been beaten up a little bit, you just make a lunge towards the door. That's quicker than having to climb the cage. That's my personal preference. Yeah,
but here's the thing: there's always like a weird gravity well near the door that they haven't really explained, but clearly it's there because we've seen many times.
Someone needs to find the key to breaking that.
Many times we've seen people with a wide open space. All they have to do is move towards it,
and then they inch their way there. It's like
somehow they go backwards.
Quicksand.
Exactly.
Well, that's them trying to sell the drama because the door is like the easiest way to get out.
No selling. So, let's see here. Yeah.
So things start going south for Seth because so early on, Buddy tosses a kendo stick in the ring. Seth uses a little bit. Buddy tries to get involved some more. So there's a spot where they're both on the top rope. Seth crotches Dom on the top rope. Dom does the same to Seth. Dom comes to, tries to escape through the door. Ray's out there, grabs him by his hands, tries to pull him out. Buddy runs over, drives Ray into the barricade, turns around without looking, slams the door, closed.
Yeah.
Little does he know that Seth is standing right there.
Like Ray has his hand. And for some reason, Dom has his ass up in the air, like he forgot how to move properly.
I'm telling you, weirdest. They have to really sell the drama of that, because literally it just seems like you can just leave. Super easy.
I know, that's the thing. It should be, but it's not. And I'm talking strictly, Larson, strictly in kayfabe, in the universe. Selling doesn't exist. Selling is just being hurt.
Yeah.
So I can't explain why they can't move outside the door.
I don't know. It's pretty silly. Anyway, so that happens. So he runs around to the opposite side of the ring because Dom's scaling over the top of the cage at that point. He climbs up. Dom knocks him off to the floor, hits Seth with a frog splash, gets it 2.
Mm-hmm.
Dom climbs again. Seth gives chase. That leads to a superplex into a Falcon Arrow. Dom kicks out of that. So Seth, taking his eye away from what he's supposed to be doing, something Seth does quite often, starts talking crap to Ray. Dom rolls him up, gets the 2. Right at kick out, though, Seth hits him with a stomp, and then another stomp for the win. So on his way out of the ring, Seth makes sure to grab a kendo stick. Buddy's over there to hold the door open for him. There's a bit of a stare down. Then Seth comes up to him, pats him on the chest, grabs him by the face, says something nice to him, kisses him on the head, and then throws him into the barricade.
Mm-hmm. Then he sort of rebounds off that, and then Seth grabs the cage door, which Buddy's right next to, and slams on his face and said, "How do you like that? It sucks. You know how I know? Because you did it to me."
Yeah, that was great. Before that, he yelled at him, "Do what I tell you to do."
Yeah.
So Seth leaves, and while that whole thing was going on, Ray was in the ring, tending to Dom, yelling for medics to come out. Angie finally goes in, Mrs. Mysterio. And then,
well, hold on, but not before. Seth goes up to her and says, "You've done a hell of a job with him. Hope she turns out better." He walks up. So then Mrs. Mysterio and Daughter Mysterio, as Daughter Mysterio passes Buddy Murphy,
just about to get to that, yeah.
She gives him a little touch.
Just making sure he's all right.
Why would she do that, Larson?
Did
somebody slide into somebody else's DMs?
Well, he just got beat. Murphy just got beat up by the one man that was there for him.
Good job, freaking Buddy Murphy. Because this is a story now. This is a thing now. This is something that's been planned, and it's a story, and it's like I saw somebody on Twitter say, "Oh, this is going to be Romeo and Juliet, isn't it?" It's totally going to be that. That's rad, man. Bring the whole family into it, man. Bring the whole family into it.
Next, back to Raw Underground. Dawson there fighting. He wins with some elbow strikes. Riddick Moss steps in next. They're going back and forth. Braun runs in, destroys them both. Huge Uranagi on Riddick. A dominator for Dolph.
Yeah. After that, man, another Drew McIntyre interview. He talks a ton.
He did a lot of talking tonight.
And then Keith Lee interrupts. He talks a ton. He's like, "It'd be helpful if he didn't try to drag my name and reputation." And Drew's like, "Whoa, don't be spinning my words." And he's like, "Spinning your words would mean like blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "What you're saying is if you hadn't interfered in my match against Randy Orton, I would have lost. But I beat Randy at Payback. So that's no certainty." And anyways, bottom line is Keith said, "I'm going to beat you twice tonight." And it Clash for the WWE title. And then they just start fighting backstage.
Well, they just, I actually like this bit at the end where Lee is about to pat Drew on the shoulder, and Drew's like, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
And then Keith Lee talks some more and tries to do it again, and Drew again says, "Don't do that." And he does it again, and Drew does a sucker punch to him. Then they start brawling.
Yeah.
That part I like, because it went from being, two friends who are just trying to work out a misunderstanding, a disagreement, and this leads to things getting chippy and getting violent.
Yeah. After that, Titus, with a head full of steam, is antsy to get into Raw Underground. He's let in Raw Underground. Braun is busy ripping people apart. Riddick gets back. He gets kicked into oblivion. Titus takes down Braun, but gets put to sleep quickly in a very, very weak choke. You could see the giant gap between Titus's neck and Braun's arm, but he sold it. He got put to sleep, and then Braun gets on top and starts beating him. And Shane sort of pushes him off. It's like, "Hey, stop it!" And Braun's about to lay into Shane, and he's like, "It's done. It's over. I'm Shane."
Yeah. Yeah, Jack Daddy was trying to break it up too.
After that, we had back in the real ring, Kevin Owens versus Aleister Black. Aleister Black wearing those tights that he wore once at that Florida house show that we remember.
He's bad guy Aleister now, so he can wear the pants.
Yeah, I like this match. I feel like they could have given just Aleister Black a win here by having Owens. I know they're not going to have Owens tap out or whatever, but like, man, maybe do the thing where he can't go anymore because his leg is too busty. Because that was like the thing, like Aleister Black was targeting his leg, and at one point he has him like a knee bar or whatever, and it takes forever, but Owens eventually gets to the ropes. He's able to like get a super kick on Aleister Black. And then the lights flicker. I love that MVP, staying in character on brand, started complaining about the lights flickering, costing a guy a match because of what happened to him. But the lights flicker, and then Kevin Owens gets a stunner and 3 count. I'm not a fan of that. I know they're trying to like protect Aleister Black, but that's the story of Aleister Black. They always just try to protect him a little bit, and then they don't.
Well, they protect him in the micro, but in the macro, he kind of ends up looking like a chump.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
After that, Drew's backstage taping up his wrists. Keith Lee storms in. They brawl again. Adam Pearce breaks it up and says, all right, here's the thing. If you guys don't stop, match tonight is canceled. That means Keith Lee gets no chance to maybe take on Drew at Clash of Champions. So they don't fight until they hit the ring.
Yeah, I like Scrap Iron getting in there. After that, we had the Riott Squad versus Lana and Natalya with Nia and Shayna on commentary. I really wish we could have heard more from them. This is a really fast match. But I thought that like Nia's opening line of, Byron, if you keep staring at me, I'm going to call the cops because you're creeping me out over here. And then Shayna just says, stop staring at her. It was pretty funny stuff. I liked them. I thought they were good. I could use some vignettes with Nia Jax and Shayna, to be honest with you. Anyways, Riott Squad ended up winning this match. They had a small promo to start it off, talking about how they're going to win at Clash because of teamwork or something. They end up winning, but to prove a point, Nia Jax hits a Samoan drop on Lana through the table, making sure the Riott Squad is paying attention. That looked nasty.
That looked nasty, I know.
It did.
That looked nasty. After that, back to Raw Underground. Dolph, Riddick Moss trying to double team Braun. He fights them off. And that's when Dabba-Kato steps up. They're having a stare down. You think they're going to fight. And Shane says, no. We're saving this for next week.
The guy knows how to draw ratings, man. That's going to be fun. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah.
After that, we had the main event, Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, and this whole thing was just a power match between the two huge guys. Keith Lee trying to do what he could to target Drew's jaw. And then, so it was good stuff. Keith Lee hit a superplex, got 2, and then like a double fun splash, both men down, and then Retribution attack.
Correct. And so they're circling the ring. They get up on the apron. Drew and Keith try to fight him off. They're overwhelmed, of course. They're getting beat down. Cue Hurt Business. You hear their music. They walk down to the stage. They take their blazers off, undo their cuffs. So then Retribution, they're at the foot of the ramp. Brawl breaks out, kind of at the foot of the ramp, ringside. Drew and Keith Lee take out everyone with stereo topes to close the show. Huge face turn for Hurt Business there.
That was rad, man. That was so rad. I'm telling you, if there was a crowd there, they'd have been going ape shit. That was so great.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Let's answer some questions.
Yeah, let's do that. Sounds good. Tomb Raider. You get to create your own wrestling show, and your first task to choose your commentary team. Who are your 3 commentators? We'll do this draft style. You can pick first, Steve.
Nigel. Nigel's my number 1 pick.
Good pick. I'll go Samoa Joe.
Good pick. I'm going to go with Nigel. I'll go with screw it. I'll take Michael Cole.
I'm going to go with the best play-by-play man in the business. I'm going with Kevin Kelly.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I will go with, it's a 3-man team.
Yeah.
Who do I get? I got Nigel.
You got Michael
Cole. Because they were awesome at the British thing.
Yeah, the first UK tournament. They were really good.
And then I will go with you already have Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take you know what I'll do? I'll take No. I'll take MVP.
Okay. Joe, I get Kevin Kelly.
Man, you got to go with Steve Corino.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that.
Oh, that's terrific.
They were so good. He and Kevin Kelly were so good together.
They were so good. I would have taken, a lot of people were saying Booker T. I would have taken Booker T, but he kind of only works with Corey Graves.
Yeah, I know. Isaldes, I don't know if that's a reference to. Anyways, moving on. Judas Fiend, the door should be off limits in cage matches.
The door should at least be locked or something. Like you got to bug the ref to get out. Let's see here.
Isaldes says you just fix that. You lock the door. All right, that's why you just lock the door and don't make it an option. That's what he's saying. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's where I got it
the
from.
cage
Yeah,
match.
yeah,
Gotcha.
because I read that.
Oh, yeah. Zach Jacket said, love the fact that right after Drew told Keith the last time not to touch the belt, that Keith said something along the lines of, are you trying to tell the Limitless One what to do?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what led Drew to...
Alex Foster, you guys have said you didn't watch too much when MVP was first around, but now you love him. Is there any other wrestler you wish you had been keeping an eye on during your time off? See, here's the thing. I've actually seen my fair share of MVP back then, and I kind of have no regrets over how I've said, yeah, I'm not really into him. I don't think I really missed anything. I saw what I saw, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really into this guy. MVP is a prime example of a guy who went away, got old, and came back with all sorts of gravitas and intensity that I just didn't see before. And I don't really know if I missed it. I don't think it was there because he was a younger guy. Like sometimes age just does that.
Yep. 100%.
So that's the situation with that.
Totally. That being said, I'm kind of the same camp as you, and from a stretch from I don't know, like the mid-aughts to maybe 2011, I didn't watch a ton, so I missed the best, like peak Edge. I missed a lot of Edge stuff.
Yeah,
and I would really like to go back. I know he's done a lot of neat things. Just like to catch up on some of that stuff.
I remember being really into him when he was when like the Lita thing and the heel stuff, like when he was prime heel. It was really great. And then like when I came back around to wrestling, he was already like sort of boring babyface who had done everything, Then he retired.
But now he's back.
Mr. Sinister. So tonight's Raw was called, he's older and he's got grit. Was called In Your Face Raw. What other names will be used to try and grab audience's attention? Yeah, that was a weird thing they did.
In your face, in your face.
Oh, that's a good one. He says, how long until they use Going in Raw as one of their names? Tonight on Going in Raw.
Yeah. We should probably trademark that.
Probably a good idea. Be a smart move.
What are their names? Rawer than Raw. Rawer.
Yeah. Bloody Raw.
Wow.
Yeah. No,
Hardcore Raw.
Raw, your mama. Your mama loves it raw.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Tonight on Your Mama Loves It Raw.
Gareth, Pierce's lower third should say something more than WWE official. If not general manager, what other official roles could he hold?
So I think Pat Buck has been referred to as a WWE official as well. So yeah, I do feel like Scrap Iron needs head official.
Well, that makes it sound like he's one of the referees then. Because like in football, like the head official is one
lead official, prime, platinum
good.
official.
Lead's good. I think lead's good. That's the way to do it. Jorge D, besides Shock the System, what is the best modern theme in wrestling for each of you?
For me, it's probably a tie between Asuka's and Aleister Black's.
Hangman Page.
That's a really good one.
His is really good.
It's really good. Well, I mean, is Bullet Club's theme modern day?
Well, yeah, it depends on your definition of modern.
Prince Devitt's. Real
rock. Go ahead. You had a question over there?
Dan Barber, do you see a future where Nakamura and Cesaro turn face by kicking Sammy out of the Artist Collective?
Like they already kind of did that. We walked in the Champions Lounge and like, hey, get out of here. We're having a personal conversation.
They did that, and they're still heels.
Diehard Homer, let's say Retribution is involved in the classic Survivor Series match. Who are the 5 people on each side?
Yeah,
you got
okay.
Dijak. Dio. Shane Thorne.
I really don't know who
Brendan
else
Vink.
is in it. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And then you got Hurt Business on the other side.
It's 4 on 4.
They would need a 5th member. Right, yeah.
What's Apollo and Ricochet going to do? Here's a question from Steve. What's Apollo and Ricochet going to do now? Let's say MVP is sincere in that he's intent. He has these guys to work with. Let's just speculate, okay? Baseless speculation.
Yeah.
He has said in interviews he's wanted to work with these guys. Clearly, they're getting TV time. They're being elevated a bit. What do you do with Apollo and Ricochet? Do you add guy? I mean, do you add Erik? Do you have Erik ditch the Viking stuff and just like become kind of a cool tough guy with them?
How long Hansen is out, because he might need neck surgery. So if he's gonna be out for a year, I'm not saying you have Ray Rowe ditch the Viking stuff, but he's got to do something.
Well, I mean, this is what you can do: ditch the Viking stuff, because that's kind of dumb, anyways. Ditch the Viking stuff.
It goes back to him being referred to as Ray Rowe instead of Erik. Then I'm all for it.
Okay, so you do that as well. Okay, give him just a more of a tough guy thing instead of Viking. Have him hang out with Apollo and Ricochet. Brand them properly, and then when Ivar comes back, he either joins them or they become the modern day APA, which I think every tag team should end up being, anyways.
Yeah. Fear and Loathing here says, according to Post Wrestling's John Pollock, the 5 who appeared tonight, Retribution Under Mass, Dijak, Mercedes Martinez, Shane Thorne, Dio Madden, Mia Yim. So they're the same 5 people who were on last week too, I believe.
Mercedes, that's right, Mercedes Martinez.
She did talking to begin before Dijak.
She did, and I was trying to figure out who that was. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Kenny T. In kayfabe, does Vince not care about the chaos Retribution has caused?
Guess not. Maybe he's leading them. Or Anthony, what other job should Hurt Business be contracted for? Well, that's to involve hurting somebody. That's the name of their business.
They're going to put a hurting on some meat back in catering.
There you
They're
go.
going to tenderize some meat.
There you go.
And cook it up. Be real good. Sleazy Mo, imagine you're a member of Creative and Vince McMahon calls you up right now saying that he wants a title change on one of the shows before next Tuesday. Which title would you choose and who's the new champ?
Sorry, title change before next Tuesday?
Yeah, this is easy. It'd be Ricochet, U.S. title. Next Monday, you get him, you sucker somehow Lashley into putting his title up, and you give him like one of those sneaky wins where he gets away with it.
Unify the tag titles.
Oh, there you go. You do that on SmackDown this week.
Mm-hmm. Zondo mentioned, we didn't mention this in the recap, I don't believe, new gear for Keith Lee.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of Singlet?
It was all right.
I liked it better than the vest because it feels like it's choking him.
Mm-hmm.
I want something that's a little free-flowing. You know, the meat gets to flow a little bit better.
A little bit.
I thought it was fine. Well, a lot more than the vest.
I'm just trying to do something. WB successfully made everyone in the main event segment look good except Retribution. They got to stop with the celebrating, man.
Oh, they were doing that again tonight.
Yeah, they were high-fiving, yeah.
Oh,
they got to stop with that. It's no good.
I do like that there was one guy who was doing like wrestling moves though. There was one guy who
second rope with an elbow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? You're not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
Idiot.
One of the I think it was a dude had the eye hole for his mask pulled down like under his nose.
Know.
So you could basically see the entire face.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't know who that guy is.
It was so fast. I think he realized what he's doing and he put it back up.
Yeah.
Dabbing with Dan wants to know tonight's show as a sandwich.
It was sort of a mess. It was all over the place, but it was pretty enjoyable.
It's a club sandwich. It's a little bit of everything.
In the end, man, the end was great. Whatever that means.
Club sandwich. Wait, what is this? Ryan Rubik's Cube says, are either of you going to try the limited edition spicy McNuggets with mighty hot sauce? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's the first time they ever debuted a new McNugget.
Oh, I want to try those.
There you go. Do a vlog of it, dude.
Fear and Loathing, how much pay would you guys require to play a Retribution henchman for a night on Raw? It might be quite a bit, just given we'd have to fly cross country.
Mm-hmm.
And then, with all the virus stuff going on, I don't know how great I feel about hopping in the plane.
Wait, what's the question? How much would we pay?
Flight. How much would it pay to play a Retribution henchman for a night on Raw?
Would we pay or would we accept the pay?
Yeah, the latter. I think. What would be our asking price?
Oh, I'd do it for 10 G's.
Yeah,
I'd do it for 10,000. You do it for 10,000, right?
Yeah, as long as I have to take a bump, I'll do it for 10,000.
Can I drop an elbow on the second row?
I know that was funny.
Let's see here. Oh, okay. Eddie Brock's Venom. If Thunderdome is the reset to kind of normal with people's stories moving forward, how come Raw and SmackDown haven't gone back to the skateboard ramp and the arches? Also, what happened to the drones they said they had? I haven't noticed any drone shots.
There's been a couple shots where they have a drone flying in, I guess from like where the overhead scoreboard would be over to the ramp. I've seen a couple of those.
They're fairly subtle.
Yeah, I thought they'd have, like drones buzzing around the whole show. That's not the case, thankfully.
Just like whizzing in and out of the wrestling.
Yeah. It's like,
Like
10
you're racing,
Vanguard ones recording the action around the ring.
I think they want Thunderdome to be its own very specific thing, and that's why they haven't changed back to the skateboard or the arches.
Well, I think also, too, is they have to use the same set for both shows. That's just set up. They don't break anything down between shows, And so I think they want to kind of make it brand neutral for that reason.
Broken Soundwave. Who would you rather see Big E take the belt from? Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, or Roman Reigns?
For Big E, it would be Goldberg because that's his dream match. But that also mean that Goldberg would win the Universal title again. I really don't want to see that.
I haven't taken off the most powered up guy there is, and right now is Roman Reigns.
Yep.
So I would say Roman Reigns. It's still a lot of meat. It's still big men slapping meat.
It is.
Oh, wow.
Dang MQ, not Raw related, but how about the mystery wrestler in the Heritage Cup being Peter Dune?
Oh, that could totally be the case.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be way overpowered versus everybody else there.
Yeah, finals, him and Trent Seven.
Yeah, there you go. No, him and the Bomber. Moses supposes, which mishandled NXT call-up would you like to see get the Asuka push? Oh, it's Aleister Black.
Yeah.
That guy, it's like, I'm not going to say it's neck and neck with Bob Roode. It's kind of neck and neck with Bob Roode.
Sailed on Bob Roode, I like Bob Roode a lot. I think given an opportunity and kind of like a fresh slate, which I guess he's been home in Canada this whole time. I assume he hasn't been able to travel. So maybe, absence makes the heart grow fonder. He's off TV for a while. They come up with a good creative idea for him. He comes back. Maybe he could resurrect his WWE career. I don't know.
Jacob.
Go ahead.
Jacob Eli Bostick. Thoughts on Keith Lee's revamp? He says he doesn't dig the music or the new gear. I'm hoping with Josiah Williams back, maybe he'll get another new theme, because it just sounds like a generic mashup of like Bob Lashley's theme. And
the music is not good.
But I don't know. Dude, look, they're treating him great. He's in the thing with Drew McIntyre right now. He's probably going to end up somehow at Clash of Champions doing something cool. I like the singlet tonight. I'll be honest with you. If Keith Lee was about to debut in NXT and somebody said, "Hey, what do you prefer? These blue shorts and you see all the meat, or the singlet right here?" I don't know that I'd choose the blue shorts. I might go with the singlet. I like the singlet. I do. It look great on Mark Henry, you know.
Death by Daza. When do you guys think Drew should lose the title, and to who? I think Randy, just so he can drop it to Edge. I think he should drop it to Randy, but also he should get it back from Randy. I don't think Randy versus Edge at Mania needs to have the title on the line.
Oh, I kind of think it should, because they've already done it without the title a lot. Call Me Sir Vix here also says that it had the same color scheme as Owen Hart. Yeah, he kind of looked like a member of the Hart family tonight, didn't he?
Game World,
I don't know. Hey, look,
gearing up that.
If somebody put the blue shorts in front of you and the singlet in front of you, try to get fresh eyes. Try to clear your head on what you've known and seen in the past. What would you go with?
I'd go with the shorts because it seems like the more comfortable option.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Game World, so they're gearing up to have the Mysterio Seth feud. Could potentially be an all-time bruiser. What intricacies would you like to see them do in this feud? For example, on the Leah and Buddy Love angle, Seth turns Angie, etc., etc.
It's a shame that when Buddy Murphy finally checks Seth Rollins, which is where this is headed, there's not going to be a crowd there to see it.
I know.
That would be amazing.
I know. I think what's going to happen is the blow-off match, whether it's between Dom and Seth or Dom and Ray, Buddy's going to cost Seth that match. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
You know, what'd be terrific is if Buddy ends up a decent mid-level star, moves to SmackDown, and gets whatever they had planned for Matt Riddle, which they're not going to do now because he's like in background talent now.
Papa Nez, how great would Mustafa Ali be in New Japan's juniors division? Fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it'd be terrific. Paul Lenkick. Why are Mia Yim and Dijakovic attacking Keith Lee? Could Lee be their leader and it's like a double swerve? No. I think it'd be better if his best friend and woman turned on him and said, "Hey, it's just business."
They probably won't reference it, though, at all. Rich,
you're exactly right.
Rich says, great idea. Make a I Survive the 24-hour live stream shirt for Saturday.
Wait, what? Do what? 24? What?
He says, make a I Survive the 24-hour stream.
Okay.
For Saturday's stream.
Yeah, there's a plan for that.
Right.
I noticed his comment earlier today, and I decided to steal it and not give him any credit for that.
What comment was that?
He responded to somebody, or maybe he just said he would totally buy a I Survived the 24 Friendo Fest 24 shirt. So there you go. Maybe I'll just send, because he sent us those great packages, maybe I'll just make it and send him one.
There you go.
Anyways, that's all we got today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with news brief, and then it's a free and clear Tuesday, which means Impact is back at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson at 5 p.m. Pacific. Join me and Lizard Steve and the whole gang at Impact Wrestling. That should be a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.